I know many people have spoken, many of the members have spoken, and in all of it, members are actually supporting this particular motion. But I want to give a challenge to members of Parliament. In as much as we have the power to budget and appropriate monies to the various state departments, we also must take responsibility for ensuring that we are able to support the Kenya Revenue Authority to raise the resources to be able to ensure that we have the money to appropriate. And I want to give a few examples. And I think Honorable Dindi Nyoro, Chairperson for Budget, I also want to ask Honorable Badi, as Chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, you have a responsibility to ensure that you not only take care of the resources that we have appropriated by ensuring that we don't lose the monies through corruption or misappropriation or carelessness or incompetence by public officers. And I want to give you a few examples as we appropriate. I know you have appropriated to the judiciary, for example. As we speak, Honorable Badi, the judiciary was appropriated money by this parliament many, many years ago to be able to rent a building called Elgon Place at Upper Hill. They refurbished the building at great cost to the exchequer, but they never occupied the building at all, ostensibly because they said there was radiation, even though the Communications Commission of Kenya confirmed that there was no radiation at that time. NEMA confirmed there was no radiation. In fact, the Kadhi Court is housed at the same place. So how do you appropriate more money for courthouses to the same judiciary that has wasted money for 10 years to this day? So it is your responsibility as the Public Accounts Committee to ensure that as we appropriate money under budget, we ensure that we are also not wasting the same money. And if there is a state department that has wasted money, they should not be appropriated more money. You remember very well, there was a Judicial Performance Improvement Program that was funded by the World Bank, the highest amount ever given to a single department in the history of World Bank. I signed it myself when I was Chief Registrar. To this day, they abandoned all the buildings that were supposed to be built under that money. Why are you appropriating money to state departments that have wasted money? And that matter has come before your committee. I also want to ask, on the issues of collecting revenue, the Kenya Revenue Authority needs our support as Parliament. For example, we have a big challenge in this country where we have what they call consolidators, where you bring different types of goods in one container. That is where we lose revenue. Actually, some of the richest people in Kenya have made money from evading tax. And when this matter we tried as Parliament to ensure that we say that consolidation is for logistic purposes, not for tax collection purposes. What happened in that, wherever certain communities began to say, oh, you're attacking our people, they're going to lose revenue, you're attacking the business of our community. So it became a community issue, it became a tribal issue. So what did we do? We rendered Kenya Revenue Authority impotent. They are not able to correct the revenue. And just to tell you how we lose money under this consolidator system, for example, if I carry a backpack of iPhones into the airport, that is 1.5 million shillings of tax in that backpack. How much more is there in a 20-foot container and a 40-foot container? So as Parliament, we are busy appropriating money, but we are not supporting the Kenya Revenue Authority to raise those resources. We know that many of you, when you want to import something, you bring it through Isili, right? How much tax are you paying? How is it that they can deliver a car part to you at 15,000 shillings? So you actually see economies and certain parts of this country have been built on evading tax. So we must begin to ask ourselves the hard questions as we talk about tax. Another issue that I'd like to raise is, and I'm asking the PIC, the Public Accounts Committee, because we seem to think the budget process is a process of the Budget Committee. It's not. It is your responsibility, Honorable Badi. Because, for example, when I'm importing a vehicle into this country, I usually insure it. And if my vehicle is worth 4 million shillings, I will insure it for the value of 4 million shillings. And usually, we are required to use international insurance companies. But when we declare the value of that motor vehicle, I say it's 1 million shillings. So how much tax are we losing there? So one of the appeals I'll be asking members of parliament, we must begin to make it compulsory that if you are insuring your imported goods, you insure with local insurers. That way, Kenya Revenue Authority can say, but you insured it for 4 million, and now you're telling me the value is 1 million. When you read that, we will begin to collect revenue. This country is capable of raising 1 trillion shillings just by correcting those 2 items that I have given. And I have very many, but there's no time to say that. If you look at the issue of ethanol, which is causing a lot of challenges with illicit brew in this country, the tax on a liter of ethanol is about 350 shillings, or maybe 320, I'm told. But in Tanzania, it's 40 shillings. In Uganda, it's 60 shillings. So what is happening? We are importing the ethanol into the country, but not into the country, but directly to either Uganda or Tanzania, and then smuggling it into Kenya. If we don't agree as the East African community to have one tax regime so that we don't have that issue, then we'll continue to lose revenue. So as we discuss the budget, can we please focus on also revenue collection? We must also learn that it's our responsibility as this House to protect the Commissioner General of KRA so that every time there are proposals, and it has happened over the years, there are proposals to try and collect more revenue, then we move into our tribal cocoons, because you'll hear the people in Isili saying, oh, unamaliza watu yetu, you're finishing our people. Then one point, the people in Kirinyaga Road start saying, oh, our business people from our community, from Central, are being finished. I even remember it was shocking. So a few years ago, in the last parliament, some people came to see me and they said, please help us. I said, what's the problem? They said, unajua sisi watu wa counterfeit tunamalizwa. Then I said, you're actually admitting that you want support to be able to continue with an illegal trade. So yes, as Parliament, we must begin to support revenue collection in as much as we so jealously guard our mandate to appropriate budget. Thank you. And I have much more to say, but I know I want to give opportunities to other members of Parliament to contribute to this. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the chance.